What's up, bandits? You are live with Jonathan Manus, aka the One Leg Bandit. It's a beautiful night, 9 p.m. tonight. I have T Hobbs here with me and Jay Seals, and we're going to talk all about their channel, talk about this beautiful flip. You know, the Bulls said, you know what, we're not getting beaten back down. We're going to charge back up. Shiba Inu went from 7% down to 7% up in 1.5 hours. That is extreme power, okay? Letting you know things are hopping and we're feeling good tonight. We want to share the love with you and grow this thing. So, right, without no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring in T Hobbs and Jay Seals.
Yo, what up?
What's up, family?
How you doing, brother?
Thank you so much for being here and spending some time tonight. We got to keep the Bulls rolling, and I just wanted to ask y'all first and foremost, how are y'all feeling tonight?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing
your mic is low, Hobbs.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you have to fix your soundboard. There you go. That's better.
All right, can you guys hear me now? My bad.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, no, I'm doing great, man. We just finished the show a couple hours ago. Had me some Little Caesars. I hadn't eaten carbs in a while, so I had to get my little fix in. Me and the wife ate some pizza, chilled with the family for a little bit, and watching this market go absolutely insane. It was the pump actually happened while we were live streaming over at the crypto shop earlier today. So we actually got to witness it firsthand. It was crazy.
It's amazing the power of money when it starts flowing, isn't it, T Hop?
Yeah, absolutely it is.
And Jay Seals, how you feeling tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm enjoying all these green candles that we're seeing in crypto. You know, it's always nice to see any market run. It was a tough 2022, and it's nice to see 2023. People are excited again. People are coming back to the markets, coming back to crypto. You always like to see we've been seeing new faces come in, so it's always nice. It's always nice.
It is. And, fellas, since we've been doing the live series here, we have grown so much. And I always preach this, but there's power through community, power through hearing different people's voices and letting everyone know that we're all in this together,
No, I agree 100%, man. I think that the people who wanted to be here and wanted to do this YouTube thing and wanted to do this crypto thing, right, and broadcast to the people and give the information out there, people don't understand the hard work that goes behind the scenes, right? Like, we all got families. Some of us have jobs, right? Shoot, Justin's a whole active duty member right now, right? So taking the time out of our day to continue to do this, and, One Leg Bandit, you've been doing it for some time. Me and Justin are approaching our first year. This is a grind. Like, this requires consistency. It requires, like, even when the market is bearish, you got to come out here and put that live stream on or get out there and make some videos. This is tough work. And what that does to me, it being so hard, you'll start to see, and you already have seen, a lot of this bearish time. It eliminates a lot of the YouTubers out there, right? The ones that stick around during this bear phase are the ones that you should ride with, in my opinion. Because if I was on the other side, which I am, I'm still a viewer, right? But if I'm on the other side, I don't want to come and go watch somebody that decided to show up when the market turned bullish. I wanted to watch somebody who was here through the bear, work their tail off, even through the bear market. And now when the market decides to be a little bit bullish, I want to talk to that person because I know their mindset during the bear or the bull. So yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah. And just to piggyback that, it's not just us, but it's also the people who show up too. Like, those people who show up every single day to all the live streams, they're taking as much knowledge as possible. They're always watching the charts, or they're researching online about different strategies or different cryptos to get into, or whatever. But they're constantly learning. In this time in the bear market, those are the ones that are going to consistently get those 10, 20, 30, 40 X's every time they step into the market. And I wholeheartedly believe that because of the fact that we saw a huge shift in crypto. And Foxy gonna kill me. I don't care. We talk about Saitama. Look at how many people was up millions of dollars in Saitama, or hundreds of $1,000s in Saitama, and they didn't take it because they thought it was going to the moon. But we learned from that, and now we know, hey, we got to take profits. We got to be okay with taking some profits off the table because the money's not yours until it's off the table. And I think that's a big thing that a lot of people took away. But those same people, or not those same people, well, yeah, even some of those same people who left crypto because they didn't, you know, crypto's down, stock market's down, whatever. The markets are down. The economy sucks. I don't want to show up anymore. I'll just wait until it gets bullish again. I'm not going to learn nothing. They're going to come back into the market in a couple months from now because they see it's turning around, but they didn't learn nothing new. And now everybody who learned something new ain't going to be holding the bag. They're going to be the ones dumping on the people holding it.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, hey, should have stuck around, should have stayed here, man, because there was still valuable knowledge to learn. So,
and that's a fact. You know, I tell everybody, ride with me. Let me show you when, like the other day, like yesterday, the market dropped, you know, 10%. I asked myself, why? What was out there? Was there any real reason that every crypto should have dropped 10% yesterday? No, I added, boom, I'm up 7% today on my flip bag. One thing I would think is important, I keep pounding this, everybody, if you haven't hit subscribe to my channel, subscribe to T Hobbs at the Crypto Shop, and subscribe to Clear Cryptos and Seals the Gains. Subscribe to us because we teach you how to look at the red candles, not be afraid of them, actually run towards them, and then the next few days, flip it over and make your 10 to 15% and be happy. We're teaching people, you know, what we've learned through our hard knocks. So that's one thing we can go. And T Hobbs, go ahead and expound upon that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the market was going red again right when we were live, right? So we saw the dump initially, and for me, I'm not a big fan of trying to figure out the why for so much as so I'm just a fan of absorbing knowledge from everywhere, from all markets, right? And you know, when I went on the shop today, I had a pretty decent, what I think, explanation for those red candles, and it was simple. It was Microsoft earnings, right? Microsoft earnings came out yesterday, and Microsoft, if you guys don't know, it's a tech stock, right? Crypto is considered a part of the tech sector. Microsoft had earnings yesterday. They didn't beat earnings, but the stock ripped. It ripped like $11 after hours, right? And the market was ripping. Crypto was ripping, stock market was ripping. But then, right, the earnings call came out, right? The earnings call came out, and they discussed their guidance moving forward, and their guidance or their profit that they saw coming was almost 50% less than what the analysts saw coming. So the analysts were looking at a 10% year-over-year profit or revenue versus Microsoft lowering their profit expectations down to 4.8%. And the market didn't like that, and Microsoft instantly dropped $22 to the downside. And at 5 p.m., if you look at the charts, at 5 p.m. is exactly the time that Microsoft had their earnings call. And that's exactly the same time that everything else dropped. Now, people may say, well, you know, people that bought Microsoft, why would they dump crypto? Well, you have to understand that the chart dumping like that aggressive selling, that's not retail investors selling. That is whales, aka institutional investors, selling the chart. Understand that institutional investors think Mr. Wonderful, right? He'll tell you his portfolio is 1% or 10% exposed to crypto. He's a whale, right? So if he says his portfolio is exposed to crypto, when he sells a certain sector of his portfolio, aka the tech sector of his portfolio, then that means that all that crypto that's in there is going to take a hit at around the same time. And he's probably not the only whale that's doing it. So,
yeah. And Jay Seals, I know you probably got a little insight on this. The news today was that that Elon Musk did not sell any of his Bitcoin at all. I mean, and that shows a lot of strength for Bitcoin, and that might have been a little bit of what's caused this pump. Do you feel the same way? Do you feel the power from Elon Musk?
yeah, I mean, Elon definitely has a role in crypto, right? Like he's the Doge father. So we know that people look at him. Honestly, I think the first time he sold crypto was a power move in and of itself. Just the fact that he kept Tesla green by doing it. But then I'm not sure. I don't think they bought back into crypto, but them holding crypto, I think we're going to see more and more businesses start to diversify into crypto, into those holdings, into those assets, because a business can't own other stocks, right? Like it doesn't happen, right? They have their stock, they don't, and then they diversify that to people, but they can own crypto, right? There's nothing against them owning crypto. So I'm not exactly sure how many other big businesses own crypto, but I'm sure in the future we'll start seeing more and more crypto on these major big businesses' balance sheets. I mean, I think we were talking about Amazon Web Services accepting payments for crypto eventually. So, and even today we talked about Arizona having legal tender being Bitcoin, right? And how big that is for their state. So the more and more you see people starting to accept crypto, it's going to put their business ahead of the rest, because what, I don't even know how much is Bitcoin up in the past like week, like
Probably like 30%.
yeah, about to say, okay, actually I can tell you it's up 12%. So 12% in the last week. That's huge. I mean, think about a company that bought at the bottom. They're up 12% on their investment already, and you're not talking about a little bit of money because it ran like $5,000 or $6,000 or however much it ran, right? So I think you're going to see more and more businesses start to invest into crypto, and that's only going to push crypto up more and more and more as the adoption gets more and more and more going, and that's only going to stabilize Bitcoin's price that much more, which is important.
Beautiful example. Look, everyone, thank you so much for being here. We just put this stream out last minute. We put out information because we love people. We lift people up with positivity, and we appreciate you being here and supporting us. So thank you so much. I just want to tell you, there is nothing, this is my main message tonight. There's nothing that anyone can say that will stop us on our positivity and our journey. We are the best at what we do, and you can't knock us down, baby. I got one leg and I'm hopping on the good foot, and there's nothing you can do. So just go ahead and know that, and I love you, and we're going to roll on from there. So either way. So T Hobbs, tell me something. Tell me, are you feeling bullish now? Now that we kind of turned upward, are you feeling bullish? Are you still feeling a retracement? What are you feeling right now?
You know, one leg banging it. I'm never going to lie to the people, right? And I tell everybody all the time, I feel that this is not the bull run, unfortunately. Could it be? Absolutely. It absolutely could. There's one more piece to that puzzle that I'm looking for, right? For me to be comfortably bullish. One, I want to continue to see CPI come down, right? I want to continue to see those inflation numbers to come down. Two, I really want to hear from the Fed on Wednesday. I want to hear what he has to say. If he's talking markets down, then that's going to scare the markets, right? If he embraces this run and allows the markets to kind of open it up, really, how can he embrace that run? What does that look like? To me, what that looks like is he'll mention the word pause, right? Pause or pivot. He probably won't mention the word pivot, but he will definitely mention the word pause. And that means that they will have a pause in interest rates, which tells the markets that the Fed is actually comfortable with the job they're doing on inflation. That's a pro. Cons, things that I'm looking at in the economy. If you look at any area you live in, I know especially in Kansas, right? Gas within the last 2 weeks ran up 30 cents. That's not good for inflation, right? We were headed down. Food, energy, everything is up based off the last CPI report. Shelter, everything is up based off the last CPI report. If those things continue to rise and we don't get them under control, eventually it's going to either pause that inflation decline, or it's going to maybe have inflation shoot back up. And if that happens, the markets will calm down. So in regards to, am I bullish? I'm getting there. Am I officially bullish? Not yet.
And where are you at, Jay Sales?
Oh, I'm right there with him. It's so tough to get bullish just yet, just because the economy. Like, we have to look at the entire pictures. I know everybody sees the green candles and we're breaking levels and they're like, oh, this is great. The euphoria is there. But, you know, there's a saying, when everybody is bullish, it's time to be bearish. And when everybody's bearish, it's time to get bullish, right? And everybody's starting to get very, very bullish. And it worries me because we're starting to get to certain levels where it's like, this could be it, right? And I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I think, to Hobbs' point, yeah, I'm worried about CPI. I'm also seeing things start to come back up in the economy, and it just takes one little slip. It takes one little slip for the economy, for one number to just be wrong, not right, for there to be an overreaction to the wrong side of the market. And if that happens, we're going to come down, and it'll be the institutions that sell first, and then once they sell, everybody else will fear sell after that, right? So that's the only thing that I'm worried about. And I just need more of that economic data behind it for me to be like, all right, we're good. Like we're in the clear. So I just want everybody to remember that the CPI numbers, they're important, right? Powell speaking is important. And until he gives us some type of clear direction, this is the same bull run that we got, or bull rally that we got from like June 18th of last year,
we ran it
all the
above
way up
25K.
to all the way up to August. We got the same exact run. Granted, it was slower. It was a lot slower, but we got this same run that happened before we dropped down. So, we'll have to wait and see.
And I also wanted to add, going back to earnings, right? Tesla did earnings today. They didn't even mention guidance. Like, they didn't even want to talk about their guidance for the future. But Microsoft, all this week and next week is going to be the tech sector, right? Apple reports next week. Google reports next week. Tesla and Microsoft reported this week. But before that, we had bank earnings. If you guys paid attention during the week prior, bank earnings, their guidance was that they were preparing for a recession, right? They're preparing for the markets to come down and retrace another 20%. So if the big banks are preparing, and that's institutional money, right? Then for me, I can't be bullish just yet. Could the banks be wrong? 1000% they could be wrong, but they're preparing to be correct, right? Apple and Google will be key next week to see, and they report post the Fed meeting. So the Fed meeting's on, I think, Wednesday, and then Apple and Google report that Thursday. So what they have to say about the future is going to be absolutely key because they're so large in the stock market.
I agree with all your points. Now, there's two key things for me, fellas. The key thing for me is if they even drop this down to just a 25% rate points raise, that's a huge momentum thing. And another is if they actually raise this debt ceiling or do away with the debt ceiling in general. If they do away with the debt ceiling, it's a detriment to our country. But for right now, the people that are involved is going to hit a grand slam home run, and you don't have to worry about anything. All you have to worry about is stacking, food and gold and silver and enjoy the ride. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, if they take the debt ceiling off, it's like all gloves is off. Everything that I just said doesn't matter. If they raise the debt ceiling, or if they take the debt ceiling away, then guess what that allows the Fed to do? Turn on a money printer, right?
Because but that doesn't help inflation, though.
No, it doesn't help inflation, but there's no debt ceiling.
So but I don't think that changes their goal.
We clearly don't mind being in debt. So
yeah, well, yes, but I don't think it changes their goal of inflation, though.
Man,
and to the point, they're never going to get rid of the debt ceiling. I mean, come on,
that's
the bargaining chip of every party. So that's not going to happen. That's how they hold everything up.
The reason why, and I don't mean to make this political, but the reason why they want to get rid of the debt ceiling is because they know they're not going to get the number that they want, right?
Yeah,
they're not in power. That's the reason why they're making a vote to try to get rid of it.
Which is not going to happen. It's all a show. It's all a show. I hate the show, but it's all a show.
It is a show. And, fellas, there needs to be, I don't want to go political. We're not going to, but there does need to be leadership that solves this problem. We need to solve this problem. We can do it. The mayor of Miami is doing it in Miami. We can solve the debt problem with cryptocurrency, with the ledger. We can fix it. If anybody wants to do it, this whole, new wave, Web3 blockchain, this can fix that problem. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, I think cryptocurrency can fix a lot of the problems that we have because it's just an astronomical way. I mean, just today, Goldman Sachs put out an article that Bitcoin was the best performing asset since in 2023, right? They're focusing on the fact that percentage-wise, there is no asset that you can look back on over the last 10 years that's gained over 10,000% or 300%, about 300,000%, whatever the number is, right? When you look at that aspect of crypto, there isn't a stock that exists. I mean, matter of fact, Bitcoin has outperformed the NASDAQ, the Dow, and the S&P 500, right? Like, name a stock, it's outperformed them all. So if Bitcoin is capable of doing that with only 5% adoption, then there's really no limit to what cryptocurrency can be capable of in the future, including helping out kind of bringing that debt down.
Agreed. And look, y'all, I was on the Discord channel for for SHIB, and also I had Marcy on the other night. Their goal is 100 million holders, and I'm not joking when they say this. Like, they have 1.6 million right now. SHIB is going after 100 million, and they believe that they can do it worldwide. If that happens, all of the way that we're thinking in this box about holding crypto down and are we in a bull run or bear run, that does not matter, because there's going to be burns involved and also just massive adoption. So this might be the only industry that will not have to move with how the U.S. economy moves. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's always been the overall goal for cryptocurrency, right? Is to diverge from the stock market, right? And I think the way that we do that is we recognize that crypto is a new asset, right? Or the newest asset on the block. The only way we get there is through clear regulation. Once regulation comes in, now you got an asset basically at the bottom, right? When you think about new asset class, you think of 20, $30 trillion market cap. Cryptocurrency is at a $1 trillion market cap, right? So now it's just like, no matter what the prices are, the overall market cap is at 1 trillion. So the growth potential is astronomical. Like, people can't even fathom the growth of crypto, right? So if all cylinders hit go, I think 100 million users will be easy to get to, or 100 million.
Absolutely.
So
They're
you
in
don't think you don't think growth slows down with regulation? Because I mean, there'll be innovation, but at the same time, there's also going to be those scam players that are no longer able to perform anymore, right? They go on the unable to perform list. They get taken out, aka thrown in jail, hopefully. But the good ones that stay around, and the new ones that come into the block, those are the ones that's where I think the slowness comes, right? Because I in a sense, I feel like right now the way crypto is that you have your legitimate projects, you know, your basket of legitimacy, and then you have your basket of non-legitimacy / quick pump and dumps, you know, quick in and outs, quick flips, you know, whatever you want to call it. But for those real projects to stay and to build and sustain, that could take years. You know what I mean? Like look at Shiba Inu, right? It's taking them years to get their full plan off the ground, right? Now with regulation, I think it only becomes harder because now there's more scrutiny. There's more things you have to follow. There's more paperwork, so to speak, that you have to align yourself with to get everything right. So you don't think it would slow things down a bit instead of speeding them up?
No, I actually think it would optimize crypto, right? And when I say optimize crypto, I mean all of those things you just mentioned. I think those going away streamlines money into the good projects, right? Therefore, let's say there's no more Telegram pump and dump groups. There's no more, you know, scammy tokens or blah, 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 all that other type of stuff, right? Now you get true investors, not just retail, but now you get institutional money at a much larger scale. Like, we're talking trillions of dollars. BlackRock, for example, right? If BlackRock knows that this particular token is regulated and there's, you know, I can view their performance, I can look at their books, I know exactly what Shiba Inu is doing, BlackRock's going to be more inclined to move $100 million, $200 million. So the players may decrease, but the value increases because of the size of the players. So that's my response.
What I think, and kind of to Berg's point, is I think the people that are here now that are trying to do the right things will get the leg up because they're already established, right? So your Shiba Inus, your Clear Cryptos, whatever else you're into, you know, Gala, you know, you can name off, you know, probably the top 100, right? All of those will be just fine, and they'll make their way and they'll run like crazy, right? Because when the regulation comes and people already know about them, and now they've made it past the smell test, the sniff test, and the jail test, it's game on, right? But
I think there'll be a learning
coins.
Curve, right?
Oh no, for sure. But the new coins coming in, those are the ones that I think are going to have to be something special, right? Something that nobody's ever seen before, something completely new and innovative compared to, you know, what we have now, right? Because it's almost like you have those top coins, and then you have pretty much everybody else trying to either kind of copy them or kind of go along with the trend, you know, and you have those few that are a little different. And also, I think the other big thing which was kind of to the one leg bandit's point, was I think that a lot of these Web 2 companies will come into Web 3 with a leg up.
Yeah,
I completely agree. Look, on all these points. You know, the thing here is all about growth, okay? And like you said, the top 100 companies, the majority of them are looking at growing here in this bear market, and they've done so. And so many of them are sitting on humongous news. Like tomorrow, Apollo Inu is going to drop huge news. These companies that are actually working and grinding, a huge press release was put out for Clear Cryptos with the USFCR partnership. And, you know, things are, all these people that are grinding behind the scenes are going to burst out. And, you know, I feel really good about where things are heading, you know. And with T Hobbs, his point, the big money, they are slowly moving in here. You know it. Fidelity, Bank of America, they have already announced what they're doing, and it might hit people by a surprise how fast this happens.
yeah. I mean, they're doing what I consider building the infrastructure, right? Before you build a city, before you do make huge upgrades, you have to build the infrastructure. And I feel like a lot of these stories that come out on Crypto News, Watch Your Guru, are really going under the radar. Like we read a story today that Visa's already, you know, setting the groundwork for CBDCs and crypto, right? Like basically digital money. That's Visa. Like Visa, you know, they every single day in the shop, there's another story that we read and say, hey, look, this is what we're talking about. They're already laying that groundwork. BlackRock already allowing, you know, up to I think 10% of their holdings to be into Bitcoin, like to expose 10% of their clients to Bitcoin. That's BlackRock. Like they have $14 trillion in assets. So when you're talking 10% of 14 trillion, I mean, you know, not everybody's going to want to be in Bitcoin, but at the same time, that's exposure that would not exist if they thought crypto wasn't, if crypto was just doomed and going to the dirt, they wouldn't touch it. Institutions would not have their money anywhere near crypto. The ones that are in early are the ones that are going to be extremely profitable. And those are the ones that are going to be bringing in all of the smaller, all yet larger to us, but all of the smaller investors, they're going to start to follow because they're going to see that BlackRock was successful, Visa was successful, Fidelity, all these other companies are already going to be successful. And then it's just going to be a ever-turning wheel. And that's why I say the growth won't slow. I just think that there will be a learning curve initially, and then we'll get the ball really rolling once everybody kind of understands the regulations.
Do you want to answer this down there?
JP Morgan, they got the rights to wallets. Yep. Chase. Yep. We read that story, 2 days ago, Bird? I think that came out like a couple days ago. So, I mean, like I said, every single day, man, we check Watch Your Guru. We go through all the different, you know, crypto sites, and we're not just looking for, you know, news on a specific token. We're looking at news on the entire crypto market as well as the stock market, because in a sense, it all ties together for now. And I think, like I said before, I think the ultimate goal is for crypto to diverge from the stock market. And I think the way that it does that is it has to get that regulation so it can kind of be its one controlled entity.
Dab Lab, thank you for being here tonight. You have a good night, man. We'll see you on the next one. Just to subscribe to all of us, and we love you, man. Thank you.
Take it easy, brother.
So, Jay Seals, let's talk a little bit about this. Now, I know T Hobbs gives this to you, but I think we need to talk a little bit about CRO being pushed down so much, and about it's on the verge there. It looks like it's about to go. I mean, do y'all feel the same?
He loves Crow. I mean, look. Here's the thing. Exchanges have made my shit list. All right, they just have, especially ones with tokens. Okay, especially after what we learned the other day about what's that B exchange, Hobbs? What's the big B exchange?
Binance.
Yes, Binance. Right. So Binance has a little debacle with commingling customers' funds. And so, you know, but I mean, as far as Crow goes, I do like what they're doing, right? I like the partnerships that they have. I like that they've, you know, they seem to have followed the FTX model without the FTX scamminess, right? I like the name. I like the fact that when you Google crypto, you know, the first thing that's going to come up is crypto.com. I mean, I think I even tried it and it literally was crypto.com. So, I mean, yeah, I think Crow has a lot going for it. I just think it's going to be something that's almost like a silent killer, not like it's going to kill everything else, but just they're moving in silence, right? They went from what, like 5-6 cents up to 8 cents now.
Yep.
So
Don't tell nobody.
You're right. So I think they're just and you know what, the slow movement I think is better for a token than a fast push up. So there are things I do like about Crow. It's just the fact that these exchanges scare me. And so therefore their tokens scare me because I feel like there's no oversight and regulation to them yet. And so they can do certain things and hide certain things in a way that make them unreliable. And until we get that reliability out of them, that's when I'm like, okay, cool. But I think Crow is positioning themselves for the long term. They just need the regulation to come behind them and kind of get that gold stamp of approval, at least for me personally.
I hear you. And Hobbs, how you feeling?
I mean, as far as the chart goes, I think that we'll probably get a little bit of pushback on this 8 cent level. If we break through this level, I can see us retesting 10 cents right away. We're entering in what's called a nice little supply zone in this area. We sold off from this area, so we're trying to push through this little supply zone on the day chart. That being said, Crow, it's my number one holding. You guys know I'm very bullish on Crow. The reasons why is Justin hit on it, right? It's the slow growth. They dumped down, they dealt with all the FTX FUD, but they're not in the news talking about it. Instead, they're in behind the scenes. They still have all of their deals in place. They still have all of their sponsorships in place. Nobody in the wake of all of that FTX stuff, you haven't heard anything from Crow where this sponsor left or that sponsor left or they're no longer doing this. They've just been quiet, right? They remind me of a rich man Shiba Inu, right? Shiba Inu, yes, they have to kind of continue to promote on Twitter and stuff like that. But in regards to the work, they're quiet until they got something to say. Same thing with CCX, right? They're not out here just jabbing. Instead, they're giving education for free. They're promoting or they're talking about other things for free, right? But at the same time, they're working in the background and they're a slow mover chart, right? Crow, through all of this pump, I was happy to see Crow slowly go from 5 cents to 8 cents. Granted, in the shop, I'm like, man, I wish Crow would move. But in the background, I'm thinking, I'm actually happy with this slow growth because to me, as you're moving up slowly, you're holding your buyers. Like your buyers are buying and they're investors. They're not going nowhere. They're holding that. They held that 5 cent line super strong and they've only been building from that 5 cent level. So I think as Crow does start to rise in price, it's going to be harder to knock it back down. And that's what I like about the slope.
I agree. One point on CRO. I do believe that the 5 cent is the bottom for CRO. I really do. I believe it was way oversold at that point. And I believe that was the bottom, I believe.
Yeah, I bought a nice little chunk of change over at 5 cents. I told people in the shop, I said, I'm pretty sure 5 cents is the bottom. Like I'm not gonna say I'm 100%. I was like, but at 5 cents, it's a buy for me. I'm sorry. So I mean, at 8 cents is a buy. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I feel great about any purchase right now in CRO because if you look at this chart, you can already see the levels. And one thing's for sure, yes, there was a huge sell-off, but all these holders did not sell their tokens. They're sitting there at a loss right now in their wallet. So as we push back up through the meat here, chop through these different levels, it gets a little bit easier having those holders there at those levels. Now, some will sell against it and try to get out of their position at even or whatever, but I still think as we push through these levels, we'll push through a little bit easier.
We're talking about CCX now, right?
No, CRO.
Oh, CRO. I thought we were talking about CCX. I was going to say the same thing. But yes, I feel the exact same way about both of these charts, right? CCX and CRO. With CRO, I feel like a lot of people sold into the fear, right? And that's good. Like, honestly, like you want to get the people that are going to sell into the fear out because then the real buyers step in, right? The people that bought down at 5 cents, 6 cents, 7 cents, 8 cents, these are real buyers. They see the true value in Crow. Same thing for the people that bought Solana at $8, right? The people that dumped it, they out, right? They're probably not buying back in. But the people that truly believed in Solana at $8, this thing is gone. It went up to like $24 the other day, right? So I feel the same way about the CCX chart. I feel like those big dumps that we had, that's fine. you want that, right? During the time of fear, you kind of want that to happen. But as that fear wanes, you get the real buyers that start stepping back in and holding the charts. Hang on a second.
And look, and as we're growing here with CCX, so everyone, there's no real precedent here. The CCX is a fairly new token, so there's no. I mean, you can see the all-time high at 17 cent, but I'm just letting you know, as a chart goes, when you're looking at this, that is not the end all be all. I believe in the upward movement of CCX. I believe that it will definitely smoke that 17 cent as it continues to move up. We need a little more chart action to see where the all-time high is before we even hit that. We're still brand new with Clear Cryptos. So, 1,000 holders, that's where we're at right now, and growing every single day. But just look at this because we're early. That's what I like to tell people. You're early, and you're early into a project of great builders and great minds.
I agree. 100%.
So, Sills,
100%.
what topic you want to talk about next?
Shoot. Oh man.
Anything on your mind?
Trying to think here, because we talked about it. We talked a lot about a lot of stuff. The biggest thing for me, I think, moving forward with crypto is really, and I mean, I guess everybody likes a great scandal, right? But what is going to happen with SBF, right? I think that is going to have an impact, maybe not a major impact, but an impact on crypto, just because of the fact that once that trial starts, probably in it's supposed to start later this year. Yeah, October. Yeah. So once that starts, I'm very interested to see how people react, just because so much information is going to come out and we're going to get a much clearer picture. Like every day we keep getting more and more of a picture on what SBF was doing, how I think he was a mastermind genius, very, very smart. In my opinion, right? I think he plays dumb on TV or in interviews, but I think that he's a very intelligent man, because clearly he had the foresight to buy a bank, inflate the bank's price. Like, I think he fired pretty much all the employees except for like 3 of them, so he didn't have to pay nobody nothing. And then he would basically use that as a shell company to hide his money, right? So that to me shows intent, that he knew, hey, if something goes wrong with my Alameda research and my my FTX business, at least I got this stash of money sitting right here, and I'm gonna be just okay. If something happens, I'll be able to take some money out. Right now, the other thing that kind of it racks my brain a little bit is, why didn't he just run? Like, he could have just pulled a Duquan and just got out of there. Like, he could have just left. If it was me, I would have been like, I'm not playing with this. I got caught. I'm gone. You can't catch me. I'm pulling out all my money so I still have, something left over. He could have pulled out a couple billion. He watched his whole fortune go to nothing, but he had a fortune. He could have pulled a little bit of that out and taken off, pulled a Duquan, but he didn't. So that, to me, that's a big question mark. Like, I really want to hear why he stuck around. Why did he think it's almost like he was so cocky that he felt like nothing was going to happen to him, like he couldn't be touched. And I can tell you that if he didn't get touched in the jail cell, he definitely getting touched by the New York District Attorney's office. So,
well, they're about to light him up. So first and foremost, they're going to light him up. And he knew everything he was doing. That man has stacked up that money. Don't you worry. It didn't matter what they showed there at the end or what they got from him. He had already stacked it up in all sorts of ways. So he's got the money. He's going to have to pay for it. Now, right now, I'm sure he's thinking that, I'm okay because I done this and I done that. But I just don't think he's going to get out of this one. I think he's going to spend the rest of his life behind bars, or at least a good 20 years. Go ahead, Hobbs. What are you thinking?
I feel like I would be the only person to say this on this panel, but I don't think he's going to jail. Like, I understand and I hear everything you guys are saying, and you guys are 1,000% correct. But to Justin's point, I don't think he ran because I don't think he thinks he's in trouble. I think that he believes, and I think that he probably has good reason to believe, that whatever ties that got him FTX to a platform in less than 2 years to be the #2 exchange in the entire world, right? whatever connects that he had that got him to that level, that allowed him to pay off politicians, be in cahoots with the SEC chair, right? Allegedly, you know what I mean? Ain't nobody trying to get sued. But whatever those connections were that got him a TV while he was in prison, in the worst prison in the, outside of the country. They got, chess games. He got vegan food. This is the worst prison ever, right? But he got all of these connections, right? The same connections that got him bail with a handshake that should have been a $50 million bail, but all he had to do was sign it. He never really paid any money to get out. Those same connections are going to be the same connections that come October, when this drags out for another 2 years. He's going to end up getting some type of slap on the wrist, time served, and the people that are really going to go down are the people that already signed their life away. The Alameda research girl, the other guy that, Juan or whatever his name is, they're done.
Yeah,
they're cooked, because they went in and basically pled guilty and then they snitched. He pled not guilty to everything, and now it's a wordplay game. It's my word against whatever you had them sign under duress. And that's what his lawyers are going to attack. So he has to be proven not guilty or guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. That's going to be harder to prove than most people truly realize. So
I guess it's going to be must-see TV, right, Jason?
It's going to be must-see TV.
It's definitely.
I'll be sitting here like this. I'm like, I told you.
No, look, I agree with you, Hobbs. But you know what I was thinking about? We had a conversation on the shop today. It was a heated debate, Bandit. It was heated about rappers, right? We had this whole debate. We do a question of the day at the end. But it turned into rap, so he's whatever. But there is a current rapper with rainbow colored hair who is out of jail. His name is Tekashi 6ix9ine.
And he ain't got no money.
he's a snitch. So basically, he got tied up in some racketeering stuff. It was a whole thing. And they got him, but he snitched to get out of jail a lot sooner. He was facing life, but he ended up only getting like 2 or 3 years, like time served, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think that will be what Caroline and Wong end up getting, right? They'll get, 5 years, maybe max, with, some serve on their time for house arrest, blah, 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 whatever. They're not doing life, right? I think they probably did the smartest things for them. Maybe not Caroline, because I'm pretty sure she comes from a pretty wealthy family. But hey, I mean, look, they got there first so that they could put all the blame on SBF. Now, I agree with Hobbs. It's going to be very, very hard for them to prove that SBF is guilty, because they have the burden. They have the burden to make him look guilty. Although at the same time, he's done some things to make him look kind of guilty. So. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, though, I think a lot of it comes down to the judge, right? And I'm assuming that if the judge is the same judge that gave him the bail, that's going to be a little tough, right? Because he gave him the bail. If it was hook, line, and sinker, they'd have been like, bro, you ain't getting the bail. We're not letting you go. You ain't getting nothing, right? But they gave him the bail. Right. And he wanted to come here because he knew that he was going to get the bail, which kind of leads me to believe that there was something worked out before he even stepped foot on U.S. soil.
Not to mention, you have to remember, he is going to face charges on FTX.
My guy said, Richie, I've been saying that for.
Look, I don't think he's not guilty. I just don't think he's going to be proven guilty. But the other part that you guys have to take in is this trial doesn't come out until October. What have we been hearing since he went and got locked up? They recovered 50 million, 700 million, 850 million, right? And remember, he's going to jail on charges for FTX US, who they assumed was insolvent.
No. I think it's the entire FTX. I don't think it's just the US.
I don't think so. I think he's going to jail. He's going to face charges for FTX US. And if it's for everything, then why did he have to come to the States? Right? Like, my thing is,
I think it's for everything, but go ahead.
If it's for everything, then yeah, he's going to have a tall hill to climb. But if it's just for FTX US, they're making the case. His lawyers are going to make the case. Hey, you recovered this, and this. My man should have never even filed for bankruptcy if that was the case. If it was solvent, and it's starting to look. I mean, granted, they still got to recover another $6-7 billion, but at the same time, it's starting to play out just the way I've been talking about it since this happened. Like, I'm with you guys. I want him to be made an example out of. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And if it happens, I'm gonna cheer with y'all. But
Well, here's my 2 cents. I don't really care about the guy. I want everybody to be made whole. But look, let's talk about a few things. The dude's a freak. All right, obviously.
Yeah.
Secondly, if I was a billionaire, I would upgrade immediately. All right. I'm just saying, I'm a married man. I'm not talking about me personally. I'm talking about being him. If I was him, I would have done something a little bit better. You know, I'd have went out. I'd have tried something. You know, I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know.
I think he could have done better than Almeida.
Oh,
Research.
yeah.
I mean, all that money.
Look, it ain't even that. The way he dressed, the way he carried himself. But you know,
socks, man, those socks
but you know what though? You know what though? Did you ever see him on the interview with the 2 girls where he was sitting between them? He looked so awkward. He
rose me as a guy that wears socks with slides.
Well, maybe
I wear socks with
maybe
slides.
his case needs to be
Asshole.
mental instability. Maybe it needs to be a mental case, and he needs to talk about, you know, he found a loophole. He did the thing with Bitcoin and rose to success, but after that, he didn't know what the hell he was doing. Maybe that needs to be his case and say, "I'm sorry, I did not know," and it happened so fast.
No. See, because here's the thing. So the whole Bitcoin thing was they were retail arbitraging Bitcoin in like Singapore or whatever, you know, where it was you basically. You would buy Bitcoin in the America market and then sell it in the Singapore market for more because it was worth more over there than it was over here at the time. And basically what happened was institutions caught wind of this and they started doing it and it closed the gap, right? So then it was harder for someone small to be able to do that. So he said, okay, I'm going to become an institution and I'm going to get all this money and I'm going to do it, right?
Yep.
Which, I mean, it makes sense except for the fact that he was stealing his own customers' funds, which in my head doesn't make sense because it's like, okay, you had this business. This business was worth billions of dollars and none of it was liquid. Not a single penny of your money was liquid in your business. That's insane.
I just wonder, you know, I wonder how far this would have gone if the market never went bullish. I mean, bearish.
You know
what I mean? Like
he would have been great.
That's all.
He would have been great.
How crazy would this have been if we would have saw, you know, Bitcoin at 100,000 and Ethereum at 10K? You know, so
bro, he'd been down $1 trillion.
Yeah, that's why I honestly feel like this bear market was needed for more reasons than people truly realize.
Oh no, I agree. A lot of businesses went crazy because of the fact that they had so much money to spend, or they had so much money that they didn't know how to manage it. And then when the bear market came and things started to have to be cut back, well, now those loans that you took out from the crypto lenders, well, now they're going bad because you can't pay them back, right? You all this outrageous money that was flowing in crypto, it ain't flowing no more, right? And now how do you survive? How do you sustain? And that's why I think companies like Binance are so important, because they were the biggest and they got the most trading volume, right? And they continue to get the most trading volume. So stories of them commingling customers' funds are huge because it's like, bro, you are the shining light of crypto. You are not Batman, you are Superman. You need to stay the golden boy of crypto until something else comes along that either takes your place or becomes your partner and becomes Superboy, right? Like until that point, you have to hold everything else up, because if you get one little bit of kryptonite on you that just slowly starts to take your power away, that's messing with all of our pockets. And I don't like that.
I don't either. And I think that if y'all can listen to us, crypto.com, Binance, all you big dogs, eToro, just do the right thing by us. All right. That's all we asked. We just want you to lift us all up. Don't gamble our money, and we're all going to rise together, because trust me, everybody's wanting to come into the game. Just give us a safe place to play and to offload our cash. So, if we're holding a DeFi wallet and we want to get out and move it to cash, make it easy. Thank you, crypto.com. That's easy to do it there. I mean, 2 minutes, you can move over $10,000. It's just boom, just like that.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't really help crypto.com when they, accidentally sent a refund of $10 million to one customer. So, they have their hiccups, but I mean, every exchange has had their hiccups. And I think that trust will eventually come back to centralized exchanges. And I think that's, again, if going back to regulation, I think that's what regulation will help bring in.
Yeah. No, I'd have to agree with that 100%.
Absolutely. So I want to talk a little bit. I'm going to shift it to myself here in Shiba Inu. Okay. I was fortunate enough to have Marcy Jastrow on the other night, and she is a developer of the metaverse for Shiba Inu. And she's doing a big in real life person event, South by Southwest in Texas. I just want to tell you, if you live in Texas and you can go to South by Southwest, you need to go there and see what they're growing, what they're doing with the metaverse. It's coming so fast, people, that if you haven't seen it and felt it yet, if you go there, at least you'll be able to see it and understand why we're all so excited. Nike's building a huge metaverse. Shiba Inu, all the big fashion people are building this metaverse aspect to what they're doing, because these glasses and the metaverse is coming so fast. They're talking about, it took how many years? 10 years, 11 years for the internet to get going. They're talking about the metaverse and the Web3 taking about 2.5 to 3 years to build up. So a much quicker time. So if you get a chance to go there, check that out. But I just want to let you know, from all of my research, all the hard work that we've done with Shiba Inu, they are doing the right thing. And that's what I want to tell everybody that's watching this. Those developers, they're even having a little bit of spat right now. That's been out there in the news. The Shiba Inu, the lead developers, having a little bit of an argument or something about something with some of the other devs. But what I can tell you is they are all only worried about the whole ecosystem. So I want y'all to know that. Enjoy the ride, and definitely look at Bone, Leash, the whole ecosystem. And I'm a big Shiba fan. I've been part of this. I've grown this thing up, but just do your due diligence. Check out the Discord channel and watch this thing grow. We're going places with Shib. How do y'all feel about Shib?
Oh man, Shib is Shib, man. I mean, Shib's gonna Shib, as they say, right? Like,
yeah.
I've given this spiel a billion times, man. I mean, Shiba Inu, awesome token, awesome community, right? Like, what Shib is. But what some don't know and are starting to find out, as you can see with the price, is Bone, right? Bone is going to go crazy. Bone is Shiba Inu's version of Ethereum, right? Think of Bone as the gas for everything that goes on in the ecosystem of Shibarium. The supply is very low, right? And Bone is going to go insane. So to your point, though, when they bang it, call your people, tell them, go ahead and drop the price on Bone another 60 cents again, down to about 70 cents, so I can get another entry on Bone. Because I got my original entry at 60 cents. I was kind of waiting to see if it was going to pull back. It skyrocketed on me one day, and yeah, that's pretty cool. But now I'm kind of just waiting, right, for a nice little pullback. But I did get my pullback yesterday to $1.25. I didn't take advantage of it. I was like, nah, I can get a little more. And yeah, it just took off again to like $1.36. So, but again, I'm not opposed to paying for Bone at $5, right? Like, I'm just not. So I know that going in, I'm kind of missing out on my opportunity. I'm missing an opportunity cost, but I'm banking on the markets pulling back one more time and giving me that better entry on Bone, because I think it's going to be a banger. I think Shib, what they got growing, and just having the goal of not getting to 2 million holders, 3 million holders when they're at 1 million, their goal of looking toward 100 million holders. And I think it's absolutely possible, right? It's not something that's out of the realm of possibility.
So I want to talk to y'all about this. So this is Shiba Wings. They're in Australia. Okay. This is going to be a place where you walk in, you pick up your wings. They set them out. They set them on these trays here, and people can take them and DoorDash them to everyone. But this is going to be tied into the Shibarium network. This is just one place. Can you imagine how many transactions is going to go through this one wing place? Mm-hmm. There's already wellies, all sorts of places being built like this that's coming to fruition from everything that you can absolutely imagine. So if you haven't looked at the in real life projects, or if you want to get involved, the opportunities are endless. The business opportunities is just tremendous. And look at the marketing, y'all. You don't have to have a logo. You don't have to have anything. If you have a skill set, you want to put the Shiba Inu logo on it, it's open. You just need to tie yourself into the network and do this thing. So I wanted to share this with everybody. This is beautiful.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a beautiful looking restaurant. On top of that, I'd go there and eat their food. Hopefully, their wings are as cool as what the restaurant looks. But I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, and if they're tied into SHIB, I mean, there's just another avenue to burn Shiba Inu if you're paying with your Shiba Inu tokens, right? So, I mean, I think I I like it honestly, and the more we see it, I mean, I remember I think they closed down, but I think in Vegas they actually had a Basie restaurant, or I think it was a restaurant that had opened up that was pretty cool as well. So, I mean, I just think that involving crypto into the real world, one, it's going to get the word out, which is awesome too. You talk about, oh, have you tried these Shiba wings, like, or these bone wings? You'd be like, what the hell are bone wings? What the hell is that?
Being bone
And then
in?
you try them, and yeah, right. And then you try them, and then you go there, and they're like, oh, hey, by the way, there's this crypto that just went up 100%, maybe 200, $200, $300, $400 overnight, and then be like, oh, for real? Yeah. And then, you know what I'm saying? Then that's what passes the word. I think that's part of the adoption part as well too, is, everybody, I mean, for me, still in the workplace, right? I go into work, and sometimes I have people talk to me about crypto, right? And so, we'll talk about it, and that's when they find out about these things, and they'll be like, oh, I didn't know about that. They do their own research, and then they come back and they're like, you know what? Yeah, I just invested in this. You know what I mean? So for this standpoint, this is just a way wider outreach, right? Like, you have the marketing, but not just the marketing, it's the fact that it's something completely brand new, right? Like, not a lot of restaurants or businesses or anything are really tied to crypto like this. So I think that in of itself is a selling point to be intriguing, and just to want to know more information.
Exactly. And let me tell you, in these Discord meetings and all these things that they're talking about, their level of standards with Shiba Inu is going to be held to a much higher standard. Now, I don't want to knock any businesses, but let's just say it like this. If you go to any fast food restaurant in America, they have went downhill tremendously over the last 3 to 5 years. And we all know why. People don't want to work. People don't want to work for that low amount of money. I completely get it. Trust me, I do. But it is going to be said, I just want this to be said, that the standard of food, the standard of service with the Shiba Inu brand will be lifted. I want to let you know that they're putting that as a point of emphasis.
Yeah, I think that's going to be cool, man. When it's all said and done, I think that cryptocurrency being adopted into the real world is going to be the way to go. I mean, you mentioned about the food. Like, I don't even think that's going to be the main. Yeah, the food's going to be, obviously why people go to a restaurant. But the fact that SHIB is everywhere in that restaurant, that's just going to. I mean, I know if I didn't know anything about crypto, right, and I see a dog, a Shiba Inu around everywhere in a place that's got great wings. Yeah, the food's great, but I want to know what's up with this dog, right? Like, what's the history? Like, what is this? And that's the question that is going to spread the word. Because if they serve, thousands of people every single day, thousands more every single day come in, just them asking that question sparks people's interest. One of those thousands of people will make plenty of money off SHIB, and they will tell a friend, they will tell a neighbor, they will tell a family member, and it will spread like wildfire. And then you open up multiple restaurants like that, right? So, and you just had that rinse and repeat. So to me, having SHIB be into the real world and not just here on Twitter, here in DeFi and in crypto, that's a game changer, man. It's just like Bitcoin. You see Bitcoin everywhere across the country. I go down the street to the vape shop, and they have Bitcoin ATMs in the vape shop. I talk to guys at the vape shop, and they're like, I'm like, hey, you guys know that you guys are in the crypto? You got the Bitcoin machines. There's like, we didn't even know what Bitcoin is. Like, I mean, I've heard of it, but I'm like, you literally have a Bitcoin ATM in here and you don't even know what it is. So I educate the guys down the street. I educate the people at the barbershop. Everywhere I go, I'm talking crypto, because the more you reach outside of Twitter, YouTube, and DeFi, like in general, this community, the more you reach out to the real world, the more you realize how many people really don't know what crypto. Go outside and talk to your neighbor. I know this is, 2023. We just, talk on the phone or, do virtual meetings, but go outside. I went outside. My neighbor was washing their car. Went outside and talked to him. I told them what I do. They had no idea what crypto was. They own a business, but they want to get into investing. They want to get into something. No clue what crypto is.
It's amazing. Setting up these wallets for these people last year, 567 wallets. Do you want to know how how difficult that was, and getting to train these people and talk to them. Look, families want to do this together. Wives and husbands, talk to your neighbor. Like T Hobbs says, I challenge you all to take and just bring one person into crypto and watch the amount of conversation and friendliness in the way that these people light up. Tell them right up front, we don't guarantee you're going to make a ton of money. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but we do know that you're in this ball game, and now you have a new option, a new way to be successful. And crypto is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I want to tell you, fellas, there is no color in crypto. There's no race. There's no classes. We're all together, and I mean that. Like, everybody lifts each other up and loves each other the same way. In my crypto journey, I don't know if y'all feel the same way, but that's how my journey's been.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I mean, you got your, you drama filled, people want to fight and all this other type of stuff. But that's in any world. Like, you go to high school, you get the same thing. You go to college, you get the same thing. You go to your job, you get, something. There's always going to be a group that is just negative. But I mean, to me, I just ignore them, right? Like, I keep doing what I do. I ignore them. Every now and then I give them a platform. I say what I got to say, and then I just move on. And the positivity outweighs the negativity by thousands of a percent.
It sure does. It does. And look, fellas, we've been going an hour. I just want to let y'all know I'm going to keep grinding because for a little while here anyway, because, I like being out here where people can share their thoughts and their ideas, and you never know who's clicking on. But I just wanted to say whatever y'all wanted to do is completely fine. But I do appreciate y'all so much for being here. We every time that we go live, and again, I want to say this for T Hobbs and J Seals, because they know this. It takes 20 minutes to build a thumbnail. It takes 20 minutes to do the words on YouTube. We are grinding hard, and if anybody hates on us, I want to ask you something. What the hell are y'all doing? What are you doing with your life? Huh? What are you doing? You know what you're doing, baby? You watching me, the one leg bandit. You're watching T Hobbs, you're watching J Seals, and you're watching Clear Cryptos and Shiba Inu fly. All right, look, you can't stop us. So I just want you to know that it does not matter. You cannot stop us. We are grinding.
Hey, man, to all my haters, I say, hey, haters. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you don't think you a hater, you probably a hater. Because the first thing they'll say is, I'm not hating, I'm like, yeah. See, if the first thing that come out of your mouth when I say you a hater, or I just say, generally speaking, hi haters, and the first thing that come out of your mouth is, I'm not hating, you just this. There you go.
Yeah, and look, try to just for any haters that are out there that might be there, if you're listening, why don't you try to flip the script and just say, okay, this is what I need to do to solve the problem, to create a solution, to fix whatever your anger or whatever is in life. You got
the philosophy of a hater all mixed up. See, you seem to think that a hater actually wants to solve a problem. See, that's your first mistake.
Yeah.
The philosophy of a hater is not built with positivity. The philosophy of a hater is built with negativity. So it is impossible for them to think outside of the realm of being a hater. Right? The only thing they can do is find more hate. So what I like to say is, congratulations for being a hater. Please feel free to invite more of your friends and come and watch the show and hate on me all you like.
I love that.
But don't forget to hit the like button or the dislike button. It is a bunch of times. Just keep coming back.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like what's that? Was like the Boondocks, in a certain moment on the Boondocks. I know you know what I'm talking about.
I ain't never. Boy.
You never seen the Boondocks?
No. Yeah, I've watched the Boondocks, but I don't know anything that come from the Boondocks. I'm pretty sure we can't say on YouTube.
No, we cannot say on YouTube. No, we cannot. But there's a certain moment in the Boondocks that comes up a few times.
Feel free to hate on me, haters.
Once a moment, always a moment. If you're in that moment, yes. See, it's yes. Okay, yes, so we on the same page. I'm not sure One Leg Band. If you've ever seen Boondocks, I highly suggest you watch. It's a great show. But yeah, I am going to hop off of here because I'm getting tired. I have to get up early in the morning because I have a class I have to go to. But thanks for having me. It was fun. All my Clear Cryptos fam, thanks for showing up. And I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.
Everyone subscribe to @J Seal or Seals the Gain. Sorry, Seals the Gain. Hit them up.
Yep. All right. See y'all later.
Are you staying for a little bit, Hobbs?
Yeah, I'll stick around for a little bit. Man.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about me and you, all right? Because we'll let people know, and we'll also throw crypto into this. But just for the people that are going to watch this down the road, how has your journey been in crypto? I mean, seriously, is it become a part of the biggest part of your life like it has mine just by accident? I mean, I kind of grew to that, but now with your channel, all your growth, all your hard work, is it really grinding into your life?
I mean, for me, everybody pretty much knows my story, right? Like I was a military man for 13 years before I even got into crypto. I was an investor, right? Like I was invested in the stocks, put my little money in. I didn't really like the whole I guess the TSP and the 401k. I was never a fan of all of that stuff. I like to have control of my own investments. So I started reading up on Teslas, the Microsoft, the Apples, and stuff like that. So I was buying stocks, you know, a little bit at a time way back when. And then I started to learn how to day trade. Right, I got really, really good at day trading. Started doing day trading. Jumped into the AMC and GameStop craze. Made a lot of money through that. And then from there, I jumped into Dogecoin. Dogecoin was like one of the first cryptos that I bought. Right, like I bought it when it was like 2 zeros or something like that, or 3 zeros in front of it. It was crazy. I had a ton of it. Sold it. Ended up buying some more. Sold it. Made a little money. Then I bought Shiba Inu. Bought Shiba Inu at 5076. Made about 10 grand off Shiba Inu. Bought some Saitama. Got into DeFi. Started really paying attention. This is when I really started paying attention to crypto. So I was kind of late, quote unquote, to crypto, right? I wasn't there when ETH was at $100, $50, right? I was kind of a late bloomer in quote unquote crypto, but not in investing, stock analysis, technical analysis, stuff like that. The more I paid attention to crypto, the more I realized that there was a little piece missing that I didn't think people were taking, into consideration, and that was the correlation of crypto to the stock market, as well as the technical analysis of actual crypto or market movement. People told me technical analysis doesn't work in DeFi. It's not something you can use to, look at the charts. It's stupid. So then I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna make my own channel. I called it the Crypto Shop because I grew up in, South side of Chicago, and barbershops were like home. It was like your second home, right? I love going to the shop. I can't cut no hair, right? But one thing I noticed about shops is after hours or even during your haircut, you got to talk freely, respectfully, but freely, right? I notice on other channels, people like to just really just talk crazy. And one of the standards that I set from day one was, listen, I don't mind having debates. I don't mind speaking and disagreeing, but what I won't tolerate is disrespect. So in my channel, if you get all crazy and start talking, hey, my mods already know, get them out of here. Because I don't have time for that. I'm a 40-year-old man with 3 kids and a wife. If you can't be mature and respect my hustle, you can go somewhere, right?
Right.
However, I started doing the crypto thing, and I really started to have an infatuation for crypto. So I still day trade throughout the day. I teach people how to day trade in my Discord and stuff like that. But when it comes to crypto, man, I really love it, but I also love the education factor of it. And I feel like during the bear market, there's been a lot more to teach than there has been, or people are more inclined to listen to you when the market is down than when
Right.
the market is pumping and everybody's just making money, making money, making money. Nobody wants to take the time to actually learn, right? So I've just been taking this opportunity with my live streams and really just trying to drill home the news, and as well as take those opportunities to really nail down things that we see in the market that can help people be more educated on investing and crypto in general.
And everything you've been saying though is the same way I feel. We're doing it because we care about people though. We're doing it to lift people up and teach people things that they may not know. And I'm guarantee you got a lot of that from the military, a lot of that
Yep.
from the way you was raised, and a lot of that from seeing the world. See, most people don't understand when you go to Liberia and you
Yeah.
see how they live, or if you go to other places, Iraq.
And
Look, y'all.
I was in Afghanistan, I was
Yeah,
in Iraq, I was in Singapore, Malaysia, Bahrain, Dubai. Like I've been all over the country, and people don't understand that. When they say military, they think, "Oh, you was a pencil pusher." They're like, "No, I was a combat corpsman. I actually went to war." Right? Like I've been in bomb settings and all this. I've seen the world. I've seen it, the bad, and I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly of the military. I came in during war times, right? So you know, patching up Marines. That's what I did, right? That being said, is I've learned a lot of humility from that, right? Like it's a reason why, you know, yeah, I am 100% disabled, right? But I'm 100% disabled from the things that I went through back then, and who I am today, or who I was back then, has helped me mold the person that I am today. And beyond the crypto, when you're just getting to know people, right? It's important that you get to know the person that you're listening to, because to me, that integrity goes a long way. And I pride myself tremendously on my integrity. So
Well, I agree. And you know, it's hard to grind this up. It's hard to build the following. And, you know, people like to see you and see you doing it every day. Look, I run 3 businesses and I do this. Okay. Look, it's not easy. We do it for you. So, everybody that's watching this tonight, subscribe to the Crypto Shop, subscribe to the One Leg Bandit. Help us grow, help us continue to move forward on our mission here. So, yeah, T Hobbs, look, being a combat medic, you didn't just do sucking chest wounds on dummies. You
no,
help people stay alive. All
yeah,
right. And look, it
yeah,
only takes one event like that to mess you up in your mind. If you do not know that, if you've not seen this or seen things like this, it takes time to heal wounds after you've seen war. And another thing, when you can heal your wounds after you've seen war and lift others up, that is the best thing ever. All right. So much love to you, and thank you. And you know, it's just, I want everyone to know that we're doing this with love, and we're definitely trying to make everybody better. It's not, you know, one of the main things I do this for, just so you know, T Hobbs. So I started helping people when I got back. I got into federal contracting. I started to learn how much money there was out there that the government gives to people for contracts, small business, minority owned, woman owned, veteran owned. And I started lifting people up. And when you start lifting people up and helping them grow to another level and giving them opportunities that they never knew, that is the greatest type of love. That is seeing something beautiful happen. That you know, a woman-owned small businesses never won a contract in your life. If you help her win a pressure washing contract, okay, that pays her $80,000 a year, that is life-changing. And by doing that, I've been able to change people's lives, and it's a beautiful thing. I got here through that channel. I blew up on LinkedIn because I helped so many people make so much money that they wanted to listen to me about crypto, because I'd done the research and I got involved. And LinkedIn is, no matter what anybody says, LinkedIn is where the money is at. Okay.
mhm.
That's where the businesses are. And you know, it's been a beautiful ride. And just, I can't describe to you the power of people wanting to be together in another way other than just being online. They want to do something together, and that's what crypto gives to everyone.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more, man. It's um, it's one of those things where I actually used to run supply when I got back, right? Like I used to write the quotes that probably went all the way up to your level, right? And I understood when Clear Cryptos came out with the partnership, uh, working with government contracts. I think that kind of slid under the radar of a lot of people that are in crypto, because a lot of people that are in crypto, they're just like, oh, okay, what's the utility? It's like, if you knew what I knew, right? If you actually had been in the military, or if you knew anything about these federal contracts and how easy it is for the federal government to sling over hundreds of millions of dollars and not even bat an eye, and if you knew that Clear Cryptos was potentially partnering, or not potentially, partnering with these contracts, and also requiring people to buy Clear and hold Clear in a wallet to actually make these contracts go through, you would really know the power of this partnership. But in due time,
In
people
due time,
in
it'll
due
all
time,
come to them. See,
it all is, and then they'll be like, "You a hater? These ain't real holders." All right, okay, all right,
yeah,
cool, man.
look,
I
trust
hear
me. Just have a
you.
good time. I'm gonna tell you right now that the one thing that can definitely utilize blockchain and Web3 technology is federal contracting. There's so much that goes into it. Like my business, Manus Vetter Medical. If I have to ship a case of surgical lubricant to 50 locations and I have it on blockchain, everything is automated, okay? And it's the second that the prime vendor or the second that the VA receives that product, it on the blockchain alerts, then the contracting officer knows that they can pay that bill. And you're not sitting there for 60 to 90 days waiting on your money for some human being to check it. It's done automatically.
Or even worse, just check their email.
Yeah, just look at your email. Yeah,
Because they, you know, in the military, you get about 30,000 emails in a week. Like, and contractors 9 times out of 10, when you end up calling them, they be like, dude, I never even got the email. I'm like, I know you got it because I got a read receipt on it. You might have just winged over it, but I know you got it. But with the blockchain, you don't need all of that.
right. Blockchain is a ledger that allows everyone that is in the whole chain to see exactly what is going on. That is the power of what Clear Cryptos is bringing to federal contracting. And there is just news coming. You know, it's a beautiful, beautiful partnership. And why? Because all these small businesses out here are now going to be very excited because they get to see in the ledger that their small business set aside is getting their portion of these huge contracts. One person is not in control of $50 million anymore and get to dole it out to who they want to. Now they have to utilize 20% veteran owned, 20% woman owned, 20% minority owned, and then all these businesses start getting lifted up together. That's the power of what Clear Cryptos is about to do in federal contracting. I'm excited for that because I like people who do the right thing, and to me that's like the right thing.
It's almost like a publicly viewable filing system for the contracts using the blockchain. You know what I mean? Like it organizes things in a way where you can't just, like you said, slide an extra $20,000 into the contract and this person is pocketing that money. It's like, no, like we can legit look at the ledger and see exactly what's going on. So
exactly. And if you're doing the right thing and you're involved in it properly, you're going to be rewarded. If you're not doing the right thing, it's going to dry up. And I hate it for you. You better make your money while you can, because I'm telling you right now, the waste and the spending is going to stop. It is coming. And it's a good thing. Why? Because we're not putting our children in debt. We're going to be able to pay back our bills, and we're going to be able to be more efficient. The thing that makes me happy about all this, instead of the VAs needing extra money to buy the highest quality products for all of our veterans out here, now they're going to have extra surplus of money because all this money is not getting wasted. So whenever the veterans need high quality care, they're going to have it. And that's what I'm excited about helping the most.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more, man. I could not agree
well,
more.
T. Hobbs, we went for an hour and 20 minutes. I love you. Tell me what's your last thoughts for tonight.
My last thought is it's not about crypto. It's about life. My last thought is educate yourselves. Once you educate yourselves, apply that education, things that you learn, allow it to make you profits, and then rinse and repeat, right? That's all you have to do in the world of investing. And always have patience, right? Practice patience. So those are my last words to the people. Love you guys. Appreciate all of you guys for stopping by the Clear Cryptos channel. Again, subscribe to myself, One Lead Bandit. Justin Seals is barber in the crypto shop. So you guys can come over there. We're open 3 to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 days a week. We go over the news. We go over technical analysis. We go over crypto. We go over stock market for 2 hours. And we have a little fun at the end with the question of the day. So that's all I got.
Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful night, T. Hobbs. We'll holler at you later.
All right, man.
So everybody, look, the One Leg Bandit here. I'm going to say a few things here at the end for those who stuck around and for people that'll be watching this. Okay, look, you got to keep grinding. You don't be greedy. You have your trade bag. You have your hodl bag. If you do these things and you are diligent about what you do, you will be successful because the bull market is coming. It may not be this little bull run. People are still a little shaky on it, but I'm letting you know it's been beat down so far. If you pick and choose the right projects, you will come out on the upper side at the end. And, you know, again, not to mention you're a winner for all of the camaraderie and people that you get to meet and take with you on this beautiful journey. That's what I have. The One Leg Bandit's hopping on the good foot. Subscribe to Clear Cryptos. Subscribe to the One Leg Bandit, and I will see y'all later. The One Leg Bandit is out.